The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to Conor Commentary, a hilarious take on news, politics, sports, and current events. It's time to buckle up. Here's Conor.
All right, guys, we are back, and it's officially double digits. This is week 10, the 10th episode. We've made it. Thank you to everyone who's been watching, by the way. 10 episodes. Wow, it went fast. We were having too much fun, Ed. We have my friend and attorney, Craig Higgins, in here with us today. Craig, welcome on to the show, man. You ready?
Thank you for having me. I believe I am ready.
All right. I know you're going to tell us later about your whole story, which is a miraculous story, the whole background of from when you were a kid all the way to becoming an attorney in that long road. And you're going to tell us what to do if we get arrested, right?
Absolutely.
All right. And maybe, if we get sued or anything with copyright infringements.
Is he your personal attorney, Conor?
He is now.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. Good.
I'm going to try and even set him up my parents. They're looking for a will or something, Mom. If you're listening, Craig says he's going to give you a great deal.
Yeah. Great deal. Come on by.
All right. So we'll get my mom's picks. But first, I'll do the troll of the week. So this week, it was another person on Twitter, like it always is, and it was another weird name without a picture, like it always is. And this is what, the 9th out of 10th time it's been somebody.
There's never pictures.
There's never pictures, and it's always an odd name. This one was Tappy Tappin'. So I don't know if that was like Happy Gilmore. You seen Happy Gilmore, right?
Yeah.
He's like tap tap tappy,
yep.
Tap tap taparoo.
I'm thinking a beer tap, a drinker.
Maybe. I don't know. There was no picture, so that's all I could think. I thought if it was the Happy Gilmore reference, that was kind of funny, but other than that, I don't know. But now I know what it's like to be against Dave Portnoy, man, from Barstool, because I don't know if you guys saw, there was a video. He was having a meltdown because the guy Scott Hansen from Red Zone didn't announce a touchdown at the end of the Rams-Cincinnati game.
No.
So it was just a cheap touchdown at the end, and they ended up calling it back, but it had implications for gambling, obviously.
Yep.
So it was a blowout game, and Red Zone didn't put it on, so he had a meltdown. I just commented, I'm like, take it easy, Dave Portnoy. This guy's like, hey, man, you don't talk to him like that. Leave him alone. He's right. And everyone that guy gets into an argument he ends up like all of his followers, which I love Barstool, but they all will attack that person. You follow Barstool?
I do.
Yeah, you know how anyone who Dave Portnoy gets into an argument with, they're getting buried.
Yeah, it's like they're troops.
Yeah, they are troops, dude. So I'm like, oh god, shouldn't have done that. But you got to stick up for Scott Hansen, man. Red Zone is the best show I've ever seen.
I like how they have all the different games flashing by, so you don't have to click between the channels.
Dude, when they go to the Octo box where there's all of them going on at once and they jump back and forth, it's what I live for.
Yep. Thank God. So
actually, as part of that, I got to give a shout out to Pete Prisco. He beat my mom this week. He did by one game. So they both had great weeks though, Ed. My mom went 12-3. Pete actually went 13-2. So it was only a matter of time until, the expert, had a really good week. And this was the week. So I give credit to him there. With that said, my mom's still 11 games up in the season. She is 79-41-1. Pete is 68-52-1. So my mom's still 11 games up there. And then I'll get into her picks. There's a lot of tough games this week. So Thursday night football, Arizona, San Francisco. My mom's taking the 49ers. Jacksonville, Houston, and London. That's going to be a good game. My mom's going Houston on that one. Kansas City, Minnesota. My mom's going to take Kansas City. I don't know. Patrick Mahomes, is he going to be back?
I don't know.
No one knows, right? We'll see. That was an ugly injury. Miami, the Jets. My mom's taking Miami. Bold pick. Have him be in the first victory of the season. We got Pittsburgh, Indianapolis. She's going Indianapolis. Then she has Philadelphia, Chicago. She is going to take Philadelphia. That should be a good game, too. Carolina, Tennessee. She's going to take the Titans. Buffalo, Washington. That should theoretically be a blowout. She's going to take Buffalo. Seattle, Tampa Bay. My mom is going Seattle. Oakland, Detroit. She's going Detroit. Denver, Cleveland. She's going to take Cleveland. That was an ugly game last week, huh? Patriots stuck it to them like they did have everyone this season.
Right.
Chargers, Green Bay. She's going Green Bay. Baltimore, New England. She's going to go Patriots, of course. It's going to be their biggest test yet, huh?
Yeah.
I personally think they're going to stop Lamar Jackson. I'm not that worried about him at all.
That defense has been on fire, but I think Baltimore is just
Baltimore is the biggest challenge by far.
By far. Right.
Leaps and bounds.
I've been saying all week the Patriots season starts this week.
Right.
Because really, they, if there's a weakness in the defense, they weren't great against the run.
Right. Actually,
last week.
Nick Chubb had some really good runs. If he didn't fumble twice, he would have had a phenomenal game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, they were breaking runs.
He was. He had like 130 yards on the ground.
So I think the worst combo for the Patriots is a team with a good defense and a good running game.
Yeah.
And that's what they got coming up.
Right. We'll see.
And an explosive quarterback, too.
Right. That's the thing. They're going to have to really keep an eye on him. The thing where I think they were the best off is that Belichick always goes after what they're good at. So they're good at the run. I think he's going to go nuts to stuff Lamar Jackson. And then their wide receivers are Hollywood Brown, and then who's the second guy? Like Willie Snead, I think?
I think so.
Stephon Gilmore, I think the secondary is going to shut him down. So if they can stop Lamar Jackson, I don't think Baltimore's going to put up a fight. But we'll see. It's going to be a really good test.
Yeah, I mean, the closest game was Buffalo. They had a great defense.
Right. Yeah. Buffalo, that was a crazy close game. That was.
Baltimore's D isn't the same as it was back in like the Ray Lewis days, too.
Right, yeah. Even now this year, now that they've let Terrell Suggs go, I've noticed that they've gone down. I had them in fantasy to start the season. I actually dropped them.
Yeah?
I was able to scoop up the 49ers like a few weeks ago, which has turned out to be fantastic.
I saw one of the rumors they're going to get Von Miller or something, which I kind of was nervous.
I would take that.
Yeah,
the 49ers?
No, the Ravens were trying to scoop him up at the trade deadline.
Oh, yesterday. Damn. I guess they didn't, thankfully.
Yes, thank God.
Isn't he old by now?
He's older, but he's still good.
Yeah,
I still don't want to give them to the Ravens, that's for sure.
No.
I thought he was saying the 49ers. I'm like, oh, Jesus, they're going to have him too. They're ridiculous.
Right?
Oh, and then the last game is the Giants-Dallas. If you guys did not know, my mom will take Dallas. So you want to start with your story? You want to tell us first what to do if we ever get arrested? What should we do?
Your show, Conor. Your rules.
All right, so we'll start with that. If you get arrested, what's the route to go? Do you not say anything? Do you plead the fifth?
Plead the fifth.
You say nothing.
Nothing.
So what do you just ask for an attorney, no matter what it is?
I mean, it depends on the situation. If you want to give like a hypothetical, we're talking about what, like a DUI
or something? Yeah, it's a common crime, right?
Yeah.
That's something you represent?
Yes. Okay. That's in Massachusetts. Just because.
All right, you got to disclose. We're technically in New Hampshire.
Yes.
Massachusetts
clients
full ready to go.
Yes, sir. But for a DUI, I mean, if you were to hypothetically get arrested for a DUI, I would say as little as possible.
You don't want to be slurring your words, right?
Do not be slurring your words at all. That way you can give your attorney a good shot at defending you in the case. Don't take any breathalyzer, especially if you think you're going to be above, which the .08 mark was pretty low. Like for someone our size, it's probably like 4 or 5 beers maybe.
Okay. Over like how long of a span do you know?
Depends how your body metabolizes it.
Right.
Well, like it fluctuates, but I mean, if you're even like on the gray area, it's just not worth it.
Right, because that's solidified evidence. If you do go over, then it's very hard to overcome that, I imagine.
That's their whole case right there.
Right, so. And without that, what is it? It's just hearsay?
It depends on, I mean, it would be hearsay with a police statement. It depends on, I mean, if they give you like the field sobriety tests, like there's like the walk and turn, the ABCs backwards,
right?
Like the pen to the eye test.
I can't do the ABCs backwards sober though. I don't think. Can you?
Me neither. No, I cannot.
I really don't think I can. Ed, do you think you could?
No.
No, I don't think I.
No, I think they just want to see
ZYX WVU.
They just want to see.
I don't know. I'd have to really stop and think, and then you'd be, this guy's drunk.
Yeah.
Stumbling on my letters.
That is why if you're in that
position,
state, you just don't talk. You immediately ask for an attorney. Which, if you're under arrest, it's your right to have an attorney with you.
Right.
And I mean, any competent attorney will definitely be able to get you out. The less evidence they have against you in any case, I mean, you're better your chances are of being successful.
Right. So the less you give them, then the less they have, obviously.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So if I refuse the breathalyzer, that's a mandatory license suspension.
That's correct. So
can't you beat that?
You cannot. So it's like a registry statute. So it's like an automatic 6-month license suspension.
Really?
It varies too, depending on. It's something if you have like 2 DUIs.
That's kind of messed up though, because when you think about it, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
So then they're saying that they're punishing you, but what if you were to be acquitted?
Because you're license to drive isn't a right. It's just a privilege.
Oh, wow. So, okay.
So that's why they can do it. And the registry kind of operates by their own rules.
Yeah, I think everyone knows that. They also operate on their own pace.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But if something like that happens, no, less is more, and especially with the breathalyzer, just don't take it.
Right.
Unless you're convinced that you're sober.
Right. Then it's the best thing you can do. If you've only had like 1 or 2 beers, then you can be like, look, it's 0.04.
Yeah. But I heard this story. There's actually some guy in like the Midwest who has this body condition where he just gets drunk off of his own something his body digests carbs.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those types of stories. Yeah.
So he gets drunk just by like eating food.
So can he not drive at all?
I don't know. The guy's got a lot going on.
Now, what about the stall tactic of asking for a blood test and hoping they don't get it done in time?
So that is not really in Massachusetts. Like there's states like California, they can do like a forced blood test.
What do they do there? Is like strap you down and take your blood?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, their rights are very different than ours.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I know some people can claim that it's against the religion. Is that correct? Or is that a fallacy?
Not
really.
I mean, you could try. You have the right to just say no, though. So it's just like more important. You can just say, I don't want to take this because it's my right to say no.
Just say no. Nancy Reagan it.
Yeah, Nancy Reagan. Just say no. That's right. Or just don't drink and drive.
There is that.
That's why Uber is such a great thing now. You know,
right? It's so cheap.
It's cheap. Yeah, it's cheap. They come on demand. They're always open 24/7. Like you just get right in the car. So that's what to do if you ever get arrested, right? All right, but I just wanted to talk about how you even became to become a lawyer because this story starts like 15 years ago, right?
Yeah, like 15.
So going all the way back, how old were you when you first started to get into drugs? And was it because didn't you get into a car accident if I remember correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
So I got a car crash when I was like 16 years old. I injured my spine. That was my intro to OxyContin. And then shortly afterwards, after the scripts run out, I'm a 17-year-old with 16-and-a-half-year-old with a habit.
Right. That's crazy that they give it to kids that young. They might not have known back then, I guess, or the repercussions, or it was just in the early stages of it.
At all. No, and it's like nowadays there's more like rules saying like you can't give OxyContin to like a first time. Like,
right.
I know Charlie Baker did like a lot of wrote some statutes and stuff because of people like me and other people who like got addicted on their first time.
Right. And then from there it just spiraled.
Yeah. So then lose focus sometimes. So after that, I got that. Then once the script ran out, I was finding them on my own.
Yeah.
$80 a pill versus. That's pretty crazy. That's how much it costs.
That's absolutely nuts. $80.
$80.
And what would someone do? Like one a day?
Pretty much, yeah.
So that's how much money a week?
Like
I don't even know.
$600 a week.
Yeah, $600 a week.
And it only goes up to like the longer you use, like the higher.
Then the more you have to do, right? So that's why most people end up going to heroin, isn't it?
Exactly. That's why I ended up going to heroin.
How much is the comparison? I don't know if you even remember. It's drastically like less money.
Drastically less money, yeah.
So you can get it for an absolute fraction.
So as an economic drug user, yes, you can like cut your costs, down marginally. So that's kind of what happened. I ended up just swapping over to there, doing the same thing. Sniffing pills, sniffing heroin.
Yeah.
And then after that kind of run its course, then I swapped to the needle, and then shortly after my life was out of control. I'm 18, 19 years old in Worcester House of Corrections.
Right.
Kind of like a wake-up call, I guess.
I think I remember you telling me, though, when you came out, you had like $30 and like $20 and like a trash bag full of clothes.
Yes.
And then you were like determined to do something.
Yeah.
And you were told your mom, if I remember correctly, and she was like, okay, Craig, like hopefully, but like not really like.
Yeah, there was
not
the
really
faith
hopeful.
Was like the bar was set very, very low.
Right.
I was in Framingham. I had gone to a young adult halfway house for like 18 to 24-year-olds with my $20 and trash bag full of clothes.
Right.
Didn't have a GED, no high school, no nothing.
Right. So you never originally technically even graduated from high school, and now here you are. You've graduated from law school and got a Juris Doctorate.
Yes, sir.
Which means you're technically a doctor too, by the way, right?
I can't do any like surgery.
Right.
Like if somebody chokes on something, like I'm going the other way. But
even though you're a doctor, you can't prescribe drugs, for example.
No, I definitely.
I saw that somewhere.
Fit in the topic. No, I cannot.
Somebody was like, as an attorney, it's the only position where you ever get a doctorate degree where someone will never call you doctor. Yeah. Because I remember even in school, like there were like doctor teachers. Like the principal at my elementary school was technically Dr. Spina because he had a doctorate, and he was just like a principal. It was funny, but it was like in this case, no one will ever technically call you the doctor.
Yeah.
So from there, did you know you wanted to be an attorney after that?
Kind of, man. After I was like 18, I kind of just like once I was caught up in the system and I could just see it from that end, I
Right.
kind of just saw like I had an attorney represent me one time who the judge was asking why I should be released on bail.
Yeah.
And this guy like went like that.
Was it a public defender?
It was a public defender.
It was.
Which I'm not bashing.
You're not bashing them, but I know at times, people say the more money you have, the better chances you have off, and I know that they're not highly compensated typically. Yeah. So maybe, that person, and they have so many cases, right? Is that still the case?
I think they're working on that, like especially in Massachusetts, and particularly in like Hampden County, because there's like such a shortage of public defenders out there.
Yeah,
they're like doing something to make sure there's not like one attorney with like 1,000 cases.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If the person has that many cases, you come up, they probably looked at it like 2 minutes ago, and like, why should Craig be able to be released today? And guys like,
he shouldn't.
I like him. Yeah, please.
Yeah, and that was it. And that's kind of like what set the like planted the seed, man. I kind of just like felt like I don't know, even ever since I was a kid, I could always argue. I was always intelligent, like got good grades before messing up. And then, man, there was just so many people in jail who were just like, that became their life. So like at that point, it was either like go that way and like make that my life, or like go at like a normal life and like
go in a drastically other direction.
Yeah, man, go big or go home, really.
And you did, right? Because then from there, what was the college you went to?
Mass Bay Community College.
Mass Bay. So at that point, that was your only option, right?
Yeah.
And from there, you became the valedictorian?
Yes. So I was a class speaker. It was crazy. Like I ended up graduating with like a 3.9 or something like.
Wow.
Yeah, and they asked me to be.
So you were determined.
Oh yeah, I was pissed. I was pissed. Not like in the most motivational, pissed off way you can be.
Right.
Like,
that's what you need at that point to go for that long. How long did it take you from being released to passing the bar?
I got released in 2009 and I passed the bar 2018. It's like 9 years.
9 years. Wow. Yeah. That's a miraculous turnaround though. 9 years.
Yeah. Well, I have a serious question. How's the food in jail?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. It's
like can you give us a sample menu?
It's called dick meat.
Is that what they call it?
That's what it's called. And you see it like every single day. It's you'll have either for like lunch one day, dinner the next day.
So it's the same stuff too?
Same stuff, dude. It's a piece of bologna and it's like this big and it's cut like that thick.
Yeah.
And I remember someone took one and rolled it up and like threw it and it stuck to glass.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, so that was like
delicious.
I don't know. So you have to like microwave that for like a minute to even be edible. Yeah, other than that, all the food sucked. I mean, on Thanksgiving.
Did they give you turkey at least? Any stuffing, mashed potatoes, anything?
You got turkey and like chocolate milk, which I remember like chocolate milk was like the cat's ass.
Was it? Yeah. Time. Was that like hot, like commodity people would trade for it?
I like almost like didn't sleep the night before looking forward to chocolate milk.
Yeah, because in normal circumstance, you wouldn't necessarily pair chocolate milk with turkey.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
In normal circumstances, like, chocolate milk wouldn't be the equivalent of like
immense happiness. Seriously. Like a little kid before Christmas. Like tomorrow's chocolate milk day.
Yes, sir.
So that's crazy though. From there, and then what was it? Community college? Because you came out. Did you have a GED?
No. So I got my GED.
You had to get your GED before you could even go to community college, and then you had to go to college, and then you had to go to law school, and then you had to pass the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was the odds were against me.
Yeah, for sure. How many people? Actually, I don't know if you would even keep in touch with the people at this point, but that you served time with, or you went to the halfway house with, that at this point you don't think have made it out of the system.
I know like 2 people. One of them who was like the manager of the house I was at the time.
Okay.
Great kid. He's doing awesome. He's like opening like his own sober houses around.
Oh, good for him. Yeah.
Other than that, man, there's really like a couple people like I like friends with on Facebook and see them doing their own stuff. But like,
right.
I mean, the odds are very stacked against you once you like become an addict and then especially become incarcerated.
Right.
It's like a 95% recidivism rate.
Is it that high?
Yeah, it's very high.
So that means at some point you're going to go back. Like 95 out of the 100 people that get released are just going to be stuck in that system.
Yeah, I went back like 2 weeks after my first time. Like the judge sent me there for like one night to scare me. And
it didn't work.
It did, but like I was just so caught up that like it didn't stop.
Right.
Like,
I mean, that's what it is if you're that addicted, right? It's not going to like
you don't
do
have
anything.
A choice.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't want to go to jail, you're not that afraid that.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, it's because of the like withdrawals too.
Yeah.
Because you don't even want to go through that. You rather just keep taking the risk, right?
It's the flu.
Yeah.
It's
is that what it is? Do you have to go through it? And when you go to jail?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They don't
give you anything.
Nothing,
Okay.
dude. Nothing at all. Unless you're an alcoholic and then you're in jail. They give you like Librium because alcohol is the only thing you can die like detoxing off of.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're constantly drinking for that, like at a substantial amount of time, and you stop, you can actually pass away.
Yeah, because you can have a seizure and like it's something like your whole cardiovascular system. I'm not a doctor. I'm not this kind of doctor. But like, so that's the only people who get like any kind of treatment for it.
Really? So other than that, you're just stuck.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because alcohol is actually legal, and alcohol is the only thing that you can die from if you were to stop taking it.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yep.
So then from there, you went to
UMass Boston,
right? And then from there down to Mass School of Law?
Yes, sir.
How did you stay motivated the whole time?
Honestly.
Because that's 9 years or 8 years of like never giving up.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It was kind of like, in that like time period of just like messing up back in the day, like I had enough people, like especially like older people, be like, "Oh, like your life's over, like you're like a piece of crap, blah blah blah," and like that, like I kind of just kept that here, and I was like, "All right, like you people, like especially like even like people like my parents knew, people like family, some even like aunts and uncles and stuff, like chopped me off as like a loss at that point,
right?"
And I don't know, man. I just kind of like stayed motivated, and it's like the work kind of like kept paying off, like. Being valedictorian speaking was kind of like my first milestone.
How nuts did your parents go at that point?
Kind of nuts, dude.
Yeah.
They kind of were like, all right, like he's going to do something. Like maybe he's not going to be in jail forever. So cool. Like, And then, yeah, man, once that happened, it just kind of like, it's weird. Like everything just started to fall into place.
Right. It's almost like the universe started to transpire with you as you went forward. Yeah. Everything started to work out on its own.
Yep.
And then, so that's what made you want to do this as well, right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to work with people who are looking to like get out of the system, even with one addiction or two, just in general?
Kinda. Yeah, man. I kind of like saw like myself at that age because I ended up having like one attorney who he was a public defender and like he really advocated for me, like went above and beyond, like wrote like a 10-page memo.
Really?
Yeah, and like got me out because they were trying to like give me like 2.5 more years or something crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm 18 years old at this point.
Right.
It's like, come on, like I need help type mentality.
Right.
And yeah, that argument does not go far at that time, at least. Maybe
right now things are starting to shift, aren't they? Is that true?
A little bit. I mean, it's more. They're like more cognizant of the fact that it is a disease, and like I don't know. So it kind of like he motivated me to like do the same thing for another kid someday.
Right. Absolutely. Do you know if that guy's still doing it?
No clue. I can't even remember his name.
Oh, yeah. That's things I was going to say. You can even get in contact with him.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, man, look, you saved me.
I know. He'd probably be shocked. I think most people would be. That's funny you said, like, people kind of cast you off after a while because of all that. And they're like, but you're so young. I see that all the time where I've seen a TV show recently where they talked about it as well, where it's like juveniles get arrested and they get life sentences for like obviously murder or even being like a part of it, and they're so young. Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, Massachusetts is kind of like at the forefront of
they're kind of at the forefront of everything.
Yeah, we sure are. So I mean, like the death penalty is illegal for juveniles now. Like life sentence, there's no mandatory life sentences in Massachusetts anymore. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's like it's got to be reviewed every like 15 or 20 years.
Right.
So it's like you can't just get locked up in the system forever.
Right.
Like when you're 18, you've been 18 before. You're not a real adult.
Not at all. Yeah, that's so funny that 18 is the adult age, but the brain doesn't stop developing until 25.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Even 21, I still feel like I was still a kid.
Absolutely.
I don't feel like I became an adult until recently, to be honest with you. Like 18, most kids are in college, man. They don't know any better. It's like, it's that mindset.
Seriously.
You're still a kid. You're just partying, especially when you just get away from your parents and everything. That's when people kind of go nuts.
Yeah, and I was locked in 23 hours a day, Worcester House of Corrections.
23 hours a day?
23 hours a day, yeah.
Really? They still do that?
They still do that.
People lose their mind, don't they?
Absolutely.
How long would they keep you in there for?
23 hours. You'd come out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
For permanently?
Permanently, and there's like 3 days a week you'd get like yard time, but even that's like you're walking in these like doggy cages outside.
Yeah, I've seen those things on TV. So what do you do?
Dude, you just try not to like be miserable all the time.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Did you have a TV or anything?
No TV.
There's no TV.
Walkman. But
you got a Walkman. What can you even listen to on there?
94.5.
Yeah. So that's you listen to that 24/7 pretty much.
That and some like old school stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy, man.
I did not realize I thought that was like a punishment.
Yeah, no, it's
Well, I get it is a punishment, but I thought it was like the punishment within the jail of the punishment. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, it's you're punished every single day, man. You're on a bed the size, like I don't know if you can see it on that side, but it's like an inch
Right.
big on top of concrete, dude.
Right.
And
Those little green styrofoam mattresses that are absolutely tiny.
Yep, no pillow,
Yeah.
so it's hell. But I'm kind of looking back, man. Like I'm kind of grateful it happened.
I was gonna say, do you regret it?
No, because I can't. Looking back, I can't regret anything. Like
Because it's like it made you who you are today.
Exactly.
So maybe if that didn't happen, do you think you'd still be an attorney, or you just don't even know where life would have gone?
I don't know. At the rate I was going, I probably would have been dead if I didn't get like stopped
Right.
back then. But and especially nowadays too, people are just dying like left and right off
Right.
this stuff out there. So I don't know. I'm kind of grateful it happened, but at the same thing, it kind of like woke me up because like I'm used to like I always thought like society was this like caring, compassionate place where they're like, oh yeah, like we'll help you. And then
Right.
I'm in there, I'm like, what the hell? Like I have to fight to keep my shoes. Like someone's
Yeah.
getting stabbed over here. Is this like real life? I'm supposed to
Right.
be in high school. Like
Yeah, seriously, because you're still a kid.
yeah,
That's crazy. It's a totally different environment.
right.
That's absolutely nuts. But it gave you the trajectory to get where you are today, and now give you the opportunity to hopefully help the people that are in the same types of situations. But I think it is getting better. I don't know. I guess I'm not in enough to really say, but it's like the mindset of like the general public, at least I feel when it comes to addiction, is way less harsh.
Yeah, because it affects everybody in one way or another.
Yes.
Everybody has a cousin. Everybody has like a family member. Everybody knows somebody that's addicted nowadays.
Absolutely.
Whereas like 10, 20 years ago, it was like, oh, that one person's a heroin addict.
Right.
Nowadays, it's like some people are even losing more. You know, some parents are losing like multiple kids to this disease.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
just, like,
I've heard stories of that, of somebody who lost 2 sons.
it's horrible.
It is horrible, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So hopefully now that you're an attorney, you'll be able to help turn it around.
That's it, man.
So what else are you getting into with the law practice? Because I know you're opening up your own law firm. It's in Marlborough, right?
Yes. So law office of Craig Higgins, law office of Craig M. Higgins.
Craig M. Higgins.
Yeah, I can't
Why do
forget-
all the lawyers put the middle initial? It's like
guess
a
it's
thing.
right?
It's a thing.
You spend like $150,000 in education. You get
Then
to use
you
your
get to
middle.
use your middle initial, and at the end you put ESQ, like Esquire.
No, because I
Okay.
think we have the law office. That gets
Oh, okay.
it might
So it's
be
you got to pick
redundant.
one or the other.
yeah, you
yeah.
could do both, but then you just look like
Yeah, you look like a hardo.
yeah. So I'm doing a little bit of everything right now, man. Doing some like civil litigation, criminal defense, family law, wills, some real estate stuff too.
Yeah.
Kind of like I don't know, man. I like
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, because I had a lot of internships in law school, so I kind of learned how to do a little bit of everything.
Right.
So yeah, I helped somebody form an LLC last week. So,
Oh, okay. Yep. So they're starting a small business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice little dog walking business.
Oh,
so-
there you go.
Yeah.
That's crazy how you can start a small business just like that nowadays. There's a ton of that stuff going on.
Yep.
There's a bunch of dog walking businesses. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Are they gonna is it gonna go well for them? Do you know?
I think so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
She's like the dog whisperer, so
Wow.
I think she'll do good.
There you go. So if anyone needs a dog walk, do you know what the business is? We'll give them some advertising.
Dog Adventures.
Dog Adventures.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Dog
yeah.
Adventures LLC.
Yep, out in Newton. So
So your thing's CraigMHiggins.com?
my website is www.craighigginslaw.com.
CraigHigginsLaw.com. Yeah.
Yes,
So you're just getting involved in everything. And you kind of have to at this point, right? Because you
Yeah.
just graduated, you got to pay the loans, you got to make a living. So
Yep.
it's like as wonderful as it would be to dedicate all your time to like helping people. Now you still got to pay the bills.
Exactly.
So you
But I
gotta,
am doing some like pro bono stuff too on the side.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking a couple just like cases as they come in. I got partnered up with like a really good lady out in Worcester who does a lot of work. So yeah, as like pro bono cases, I'll be like, yeah, send everyone my way.
right?
If I can help, I can help. If not, like I can't. And it's just
Is that typically criminal defense?
no criminal defense pro bono yet. I do have a couple like clients that
Yep.
are doing criminal defense, but like that's been just helping people get their licenses back, like
Right.
helping kind of people in similar situations as to I was in, but
Right.
have been in that like their whole life type stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So-
people who are still trying to get out of the
Yeah.
system to this day.
And they're like 50s and 60s.
Wow,
So
that's crazy. So they've been, people who've been in it for 30, 40, 50 years.
I mean, I didn't know them before
Right.
this like attorney
Right.
relationship, but yeah. So
Yeah,
it's-
that's insane. That you don't even think about that, but that's what goes on in society still.
yeah,
So absolutely.
it's kind of hush hush, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't know anybody who's involved in it, you don't really think about it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't dawn on you and it doesn't affect you. So you're just like, whatever.
Yep.
I guess you kind of don't think about it. You were saying like people who just kind of like oh, Craig's not going to do anything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I think about that. How many people do you think we're losing? Like, who would be able to be saved and be able to actually do something with their life that are just being stuck there?
I don't know. It depends. I mean, because like you just got to really.
It's like case by case, right?
You got to have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, and you also like, because at that age, I mean, it's kind of like I knew I didn't want to live that life because I saw people like 30 in jail who had been there like pretty much the whole time. People 40 acting like the people who are like acting like they're 30, acting like the people that are like 20, and it's like,
right.
I don't want this. So kind of just had to like figure out what I did want, and like I don't know, man. It was just like you said, the universe kind of just like fell into place.
Yeah, yeah. As you're doing it, it kind of transpires when you're trying to make everything work. Perfect. All right, so let them know where they can find you. So I told them Craig Higgins, right? So real estate, wills, trusts, criminal defense.
Yeah, landlord-tenant stuff. I mean, call me. I do a lot of stuff, like some civil litigation stuff too. I mean, give me a call for criminal defense. Buy or sell a house. You want to evict a tenant. You're getting evicted. 508-499-8593. And I'm out in Marlboro. And yeah.
Give them a call anytime. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching on Facebook, please like, share, YouTube, subscribe, Instagram, Twitter. Like it, follow it, tell your friends. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.